Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Sentinel Reviews. Today, we will be looking at Argus Limited, RWBY Volume 6, Chapter 1. A little bit of my history with this series. 3 years ago now, I think. Little dodgy, I don't remember exactly. But anyway, I was off work, my parents were out of town, I was home alone, and I was browsing Netflix for something to watch. And in the anime section, please do not start that debate in the comments, that's just where I found it, I found RWBY. I read up on it, it's like, oh, I never heard of this, this sounds interesting, and about 4 hours later, I binged the first 2 volumes. This was before Volume 3 came out, I believe, and, after that, that was the end of it. Few months to a year later, this all happened a long time ago, so yeah, I'm kind of sketchy on details. I was shopping at Walmart, and I passed the movies, and I found the Blu-ray of Volume 3. And it was like, oh, hey, I remember watching that. I really liked it. So I bought Volume 3, and I've been hooked ever since. RWBY is probably one of my favorite things on TV, on right now. It's a web series, I was about to say on TV. It's either that or Doctor Who. I'd honestly say they're tied. And, I have just loved this series. How else can I express that? Yeah, in fact, it was through RWBY that I started getting familiar with Rooster Teeth's content. Red vs. Blue, mainly. Camp, I've been there since the beginning. I've started getting into some of their other stuff, like 10 Little Roosters, 11 Little Roosters, which was all fun. And, but mainly, I've mostly been to the animation side of things, their animation department. And especially with Genlock coming out next year, that looks like that is going to be epic. But, yeah, a little bit more about RWBY. Volume 3 is still my favorite. I think it's everyone's favorite. And Jean Arc is my favorite character. Ever since Volume 1, it's like, he's been my favorite character. Now about the schedule regarding reviews. Not counting the first 2 episodes, because I am late on those. How Rooster Teeth does things is, a week early, they release the episodes for their first members, their paying subscribers. And then, 1 week later, that episode is released publicly, and the next episode is released early for their paying subscribers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the episodes and film my reviews, hopefully, if I'm on time, and then I'm going to release my reviews on the episode in question's public release date. That way everyone gets a chance to see it. I was going to react to RWBY, but Nomad of Nowhere was such a nightmare. On the technical side, I had no issues with claims, and I always got that solved really fast, but on the technical sides, like, half the episodes I've reacted to so far are missing because my camera would just cut out and just give you still frames while the audio remained intact. So, yeah, I just didn't want to put up with that again. It's one of the reasons why I haven't finished Nomad of Nowhere. And I mean, in between Nomad of Nowhere, I did Kingdom Hearts videos, and it looks like I may have gotten that fixed, but it's still kind of nerves to ask. But so yeah, that's why I'm doing reviews. Anyway, tangents aside, Argus Limited, RWBY Volume 6, Chapter 1. It was a good episode. I don't know what... Well, I do know what else to say, but yeah, it's just... this episode was very basic, very introductory, and that's not a bad thing, The show's been off for half a year. I don't know why it took me so long to think of that. But yeah, this episode was lacking in substance, mainly. So what's the plot? Basically, after the events of Volume 5, the entire group is now getting ready to go to the Kingdom of Atlas, and they decide to take the train to Argus. During the train ride, they are attacked by Grimm. And then the rest of the episode, the majority of the episode, is an action set piece. We did get to see some things, what looks like are going to be some plot points. Like, it looks like we're going to get a story arc involving Adam, which, I'm not going to lie, that's kind of getting old. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to learn more about Adam, and I want to see where his story goes, but it's just, after the way Volume 5 ended, it looked like there was nowhere else for him to go but to join Salem's group outright. And when this volume starts, he goes back to the White Fang. And it's a cool scene, like, they point out, you abandon your people, you're a traitor, we're not going to look to you as a leader anymore. And he just slaughters everyone. This happens off screen, and you just see him and you hear it, and it's such a good scene. I always love those little spooky scenes, like Lionheart's death at the end of Volume 5 was fantastic. And it's like, you're still holding on to the White Fang. It's just like, what's left for you here? So it will be interesting to see what goes on there. And then there's Oscar and Ozpin, which, oh boy, it looks like they're setting up that Ozpin's secrets are going to cause problems, and depending on how they execute it, that could be really good or really problematic. And, I can't say anything more on it because we have to wait to see what happens, Neptune showed up again after being absent from 2 volumes. I actually thought that was a little weird. I mean, I know Team Sun goes to Haven. Sun's from Vacuo, but he goes to Haven, so that took me a sec. And it was just, but no, while they're in Haven getting ready to leave, just seeing Neptune pop up out of nowhere, it's like, oh hey, you're back! Oh, wait, this came out of nowhere. And then everyone boards the train. And then we get our action set piece when the train is attacked by the Grimm. We get 2 new designs for the Grimm, the Manticore and the Sphinx, which I think the Sphinx might be my favorite Grimm design. I think back to it, and when, people talked about their favorite Grimm, that was always something I had to stop and think about, because because they were all cool, it's just, I can never think about one to put above the rest. I can never think about one to really like above the rest. It was a long, arduous thought process, and it's just, I don't know, something about the Sphinx, the way it stuck out to me, that may be my favorite Grimm. Again, pending. Good. I just remembered. It's like, I know between each volumes there's a little passage of time. I'm just wondering, how long was the passage of time between Volume 5 and Volume 6? Because there are some things going on that's like, how long has it been? Because Jean has a better control of his semblance. Oscar is a more confident fighter, during the later half of Volume 5, when he was in action, he had to let Ozpin take over so much of the time, and now it looks like he's more in control and he has a better handle on his skills, and Yang seems to have integrated into the team better. At the end of Volume 3, it looks like she had issues with Blake, and those aren't there. But keep in mind, with a lot of these, we're only 1 episode in, so we'll just have to see where it goes from here. The train sequence is... I'm trying to hold off on the train sequence because other than it being a really good action sequence, I don't know what else to say. Oh, the animation is gorgeous. Like, the difference between the animation here is like the difference between Volume 1 and Volume 3. You know, because in Volumes 1 through 3, they used one program to animate it. And then starting at Volume 4, they started using a different animating program. That's pretty much all I know on the technical side. But yeah, like with Volume 3, it looked like they pushed that program to the limits of what it could do. And Volume 3 looked so much better than Volumes 1 and 2. And same here, it looks like they're pushing this program to the limits of what it can do, because Volume 6 right now looks so much better than Volumes 4 and 5. Like, the animation looks really fluid. It flows nicely. The color composition is amazing. I love the animation now on Ruby's Semblance, especially when she picked up Weiss and we saw that how Ruby's Semblance... Oh, what's the word? Influences other people? And no, yeah, overall, the animation just was a huge step up from the last two volumes. Sorry about that, I was interrupted. Anyway, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the fight sequence here, because in Volumes 4 and 5, a lot of people complained about, oh, the fight sequences are different. They don't feel realistic enough anymore. They feel slow. Which, yeah, I can understand that. But on the same time, I actually like the slower fight sequences, you know, it feels harder, you know, every time they land a hit, I feel like the slower fight sequences, it feels like you really feel the brunt of that hit, you know, every hit, every punch, every attack feels heavier, it feels more forceful, and I like that. Anyway, the episode ends with, you know, Team RWBY cutting off the train, and you know, to hold back the Grimm. So Team Juniper is going forward on their way to Atlas, and Team RWBY has been left behind to make their own way. And we meet another new character, who I'm not going to talk about because she sort of showed up in the background throughout the episode, but we don't really know that much about her yet, so I can't say anything. And then we get the opening sequence, which I don't know how I feel about that yet. I think I'm going to have to watch it a few more times to get a definite idea. From what I did see, though, it looks like a fan favorite character is coming back. I'm not going to say anything about that because I'm not going to analyze the opening. I feel like the people who have done it are much better at it than I. But overall, I am going to give Argus Limited a B+. Because one, I want to try giving letter grades as opposed to the number grades I give my Doctor Who reviews, just to make things different, shake things up a bit. And two, because gorgeous animation, brilliant, vibrant color composition, which if you've seen my Doctor Who reviews, you know I love. Good performances, but ultimately lacking in substance, and what little narrative threads we do have from this episode looks like it could be problematic, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, join me next time when I look at episode 2, who I just looked at it and the name is escaping me. But yeah, did you like what you see? What are your thoughts on Argus Limited? Drop something down in the comments below, and then remember to like, comment, subscribe, and then see that little button right there? The little bell next to subscribe? Click it and you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. Because apparently subscribe doesn't want to do that anymore. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.